Hey everyone, how's it going? So, I have to warn you, after you watch this video, you are going to have serious fear of missing out because I'm about to show you all of my takeaways from the Inspire conference. So we did the Inspire conference. We had incredible speakers come in from all across the country. It was focused on business owners' toughest struggles and solving those issues. Things like, how do I get beyond my own head? How do I get out of my own head? How do I work a job and start a side hustle and plan my business and set my goals? And how do I execute? How do I outsource? All of those things. And then how do I build a brand that I care about and that others care about? And we covered it in 3 days. And people said it was transformative. In fact, this morning when I was creating this slideshow, I got emotional because it was transformative, and it is. And the information is just so awesome in the way that it was presented. So let's talk about it. We started off with my co-host, Kristen Schultz, talking about defining your business's why. So in every conference you've ever been to, in every major event, in every mastermind group, you've defined your why. But why does your business exist? Kristen walked us through this exercise that step by step forced us to answer some tough questions about our businesses. And we kept writing them down in all these different clouds in these worksheets. And then before we knew it, we had something of value to work with. So this is the why that I came up with for Amazing at Home. We are a consulting agency serving entrepreneurs and startups by providing coaching courses and services so they can develop, manufacture, and launch their products with confidence. So obviously, I can also break this down even further and use it in different marketing messages, but I figured out why my business exists. And so many others did the same, and they were able to really think about it and get it done. So this is the first reason you need to attend our virtual summit, is to figure out why your business exists and be able to walk through this exercise to be able to clearly define it to not only yourself and your mission statement, but others. So the second thing that we focused on was mindset, believing that you can do something and the power of that, and that there are 3 different types of people in the world. There are the people who stand by and watch other people achieve things. There are people who find pleasure in bringing other people down. And then there are people who seem to flawlessly achieve their goals. And we talk about what you need to do to get your brain wrapped around achieving your dreams and getting the barriers out of the way in your mind. So that is what we started this conference off with. And I remember, I went to a Damon John conference, and I remember that the most powerful thing that I left that weekend with was changing my mindset. Changing my mindset about my business changed everything. And so I started off our conference teaching others how to change their mindset and how I changed mine. Next, we had Zara come and talk to us about branding. Zara is a branding expert, and she helps brands. She gave us this example that really stuck with me of how she helped one brand study their market, and she changed up some things about their packaging, and it changed everything for them. They got on store shelves after that. They met an unmet demand in the marketplace. Same product that wasn't selling before. She helped them define this, and she helped them change everything. And she gives us in her presentation, she teaches us why that worked. And what we need to do with our brand, our colors, our packaging, everything, it's just so powerful. I love this quote from her defining brand. Um, Brand is a learned perspective of who you are as a company. The more value you can build for your brand, the more people are willing to pay for your offer. She gives us all these examples of different brands, and why we place more value in certain brands and what's behind that and how we can do that with our own company. It's really, really powerful, and I can't wait for you guys to see it at the virtual summit. All right, then Stephanie Scheller came and she talked to us about marketing. She talked to us about how more sales does not, or less sales does not necessarily mean we need to market more, how to come up with a marketing message, how to stand out in this. You see this picture of this street filled with signs. This is from her presentation. And it's like, yeah, that's so true. How do we stand out when it looks like this, brands on Amazon, it looks like this. How do we stand out? And she gave this quote that I thought was really good by Roger Christian. The smaller your budget, is that us? Yeah. The fewer messages you can get out. The more critical it is that it's clever and powerful enough to stop people in their tracks. So Stephanie teaches us how to stop people in our tracks. She teaches us about taglines. She teaches us about how your tagline is not your marketing message and how to find your voice as a brand. And oh my gosh, it was so powerful. I took away so much from that and that I'm now implementing in my own business. And she talks to us about, we learned so much about branding at this conference. It was just crazy. But yeah, she talks about how to plan marketing time, how to do marketing strategy. It's strategy all the way to implementation, and then how to avoid these mistakes that all of us, including me, all of us are making. Okay, next we had Ashley. She talks about how branding is personal. She talked about branding and vision, right? How really your vision for your company should be aligned with your own goals and your vision for yourself. Because people follow brands that they feel a commonality with. That's why it's important to have a product or a brand that is something that you're actually passionate about, because people will feel that passion. They always say, don't chase the money, chase the passion, and the money will follow. Well, Ashley shows us how to do that. She shows us how to set up our vision and then how to reflect that in our brands. It's just so cool. She gives us a formula to do that. And it was a really powerful understanding. It was great seeing branding from all these different perspectives, from the marketing perspective, from the tied into your vision perspective, from the from the brand perspective, as far as like, what are you saying to your customer? And she really taught us how to set our vision for our company in a way that we can be super proud of it and it embodies us. And then we can pour that over into our brand. And then also not just have our brand only reflect us, but really how does our customer then get excited about that? Next, oh my gosh, we had Timothy Bush talking about pitching. And Tim taught me so, I've worked with Tim forever, and it feels like forever, a little while now. And I can't believe how much more I learned from him every time I talk with him or listen to him talk. And I learned that pitching, whether you're pitching a buyer or you're pitching you're pitching potential customers, right? Because you're doing that every single time you market, every time you create a Facebook ad or a post, or post on social media or a blog post. Every time that you're doing that, you're pitching. But a pitch doesn't always have to be like, hey, I'm closing the sale. Tim taught us how to craft a perfect pitch, how to pitch anything He taught us that pitching is a conversation. He taught us to learn the power of distraction. I'm not going to give that up because it's awesome. He taught us how to deal with silence in conversations. He taught us to get a pitch clip. What's a pitch clip? How can we use it? He taught us that. It's pretty awesome. And then he taught us how to really get excited over little wins and how to use those later. So anyway, you have to get this presentation from Tim because you need to know how to talk about your pitch with confidence. We had so many people. We had a pitch perfect meetup that night where we all practiced our pitches, and literally we had people drive us to tears with their pitches. It was so cool, and it was so cool to see the transformation of people utilizing the information that they learned in Tim's pitch presentation, and then the feedback that they got from others in practicing their pitch to perfect it. And it was so cool. It was so magical because the next day we had our pitch perfect winner come and pitch again, and she was so nervous. And she was like, hey, you know, I'm really nervous. I haven't practiced this, you know, to this level, and I'm nervous about giving it again. But we encouraged her, and she did it, and it was even more perfect than the night before. And that really just cemented that we all need to know our pitches very well. And anyway, Tim's presentation really just teaches us how to do that, how to practice it, how to role play, how to nail our pitch so that we can give it anytime, anywhere, and in different formats. You have to see it. It's awesome. All right. Then we had Christina. Oh my goodness, Christina. This was so cool. Christina talked about, we wanted to have some entrepreneurs come talk about how they built their companies because we can all learn from their steps. And Christina basically came to this country with $200. And she walked us through her incredible story. And now she sources products from all over the world. And she has a team, and she's doing incredible. And she was so nervous because this was her first time in a public speaking format, but she taught all of us that, you just have to enjoy the journey. And sometimes you got to throw away the script. She had this big script that she had, and she was like, I'm just going to get rid of these, and I'm going to just talk to you as a real business owner and, teach you what I learned on my journey. And she showed us how no matter your barriers, you can make the tough decision and grow something amazing out of nothing. It was so inspirational, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So then we had Nicole, and I almost cry when I think about this. Mindset, we talked about mindset, but Nicole talked about mindset from a different perspective and how to get motivated as an entrepreneur. So she had this picture, the day in the life as an entrepreneur, how you go through so many ups and downs. And she talked about her ups and downs as an entrepreneur, and she really taught us how to focus all of those ups and downs and when to pivot and when to make critical decisions in our business, but also to remember what's important to us all along the way, every step. And it was just so cool. She gave us techniques that we can use to really just plow through the tough times as a business owner. And for me, I took so much out of this presentation, and she really she inspired us. And yeah, it was really great. All right, then strategy and growth. This was the next day. And Kristen and I started with strategy and growth. Kristen talked to us about how do you grow your company to what it can become. She taught us how to write a vision for our company and then develop a strategy to grow it to that. She helped us get rid of our limiting beliefs. She got us to answer this question. If your business was not tied by time or lack of whatever limiting beliefs you have, then what could it be, do, or become? And she taught us first about what limiting beliefs are, and how they get in our way. And all of us then realized that we could have X number size business. And then she taught us how to build the org chart for that. Wow. What does your org chart look like at $1 billion? Would you like to know? Well, you should probably come to the Inspire Virtual Summit. All right. Then we had me. I know some of the 12-week year. This book has been trending, and I've used some of these techniques in my business. But in military, I was a planner. That's what I did. I took giant visions, and I turned them into executable plans. And so I do that in my business. So what I did is I took the 12-week year, and I broke it down into my version of it, how I plan for my weeks, and how I execute goals, and how I communicate those goals to my team. So it's really, really just a powerful thing when you can set goals in your business and execute them on time and profitably. So I really, in my presentation, I help you kind of understand how to do that. And I add my own worksheets and my own strategies. And I think the thing that the 12-week year doesn't touch on enough is it doesn't touch on how to measure your success. And so that's really what I've added to this. I've taught you based on what I learned in the military and how we would measure our success. I have taught in this presentation how to measure your success along the way and how to develop learning points from your failures. Because if you don't learn from your failures along the way, if you don't fail fast and learn from them and develop fixes, you're bound to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again. And that's the definition of insanity. So I teach you how to avoid that and how to measure your success. All right, then we had Natalie Gingrich. She is the ops authority, and she taught us about the 7 strategic objectives in your business that actually drive every part of a business. And then she taught us how to actually take those 7 strategic objectives and then rank order them, and then set up goals for the business. So basically, she taught us how to take all of the chaos and turn it into a very manageable plan for our business. So you got another way to kind of manage your operations, right? So I'm showing you, Kristen's showing you strategy, then I'm showing you how to goal set, and then Natalie's showing you how to manage your operations when you get things going. Even when you are the only person working across your business, you still got to manage your strategic objectives. You still need to understand, okay, what priority does finance have right now? What priority does efficiencies? What priority does product development have right now? All of that, and then what do I need to focus on and when? And she taught us a 90-day strategy to master this, and it's so awesome. Next, it's really tough for me to talk about this without getting emotional because it's so cool. So in this particular presentation from AJ was transformative, again, for so many people. AJ taught us how to give ourselves permission to be exactly who we are. And we all have inner critics. And she taught us how to find that inner critic that tells us that we can't do things. And she taught us how to defend ourselves against that inner critic and how to get over that so that we can step over our barriers and move into who we were meant to be. And her presentation was incredible, and people just couldn't stop talking about it and about how much it really changed them. And so she just really taught us how to be us and comfortably step into who we are and how to believe in ourselves. And yeah, it was awesome. And I can't wait for you guys to see it at the virtual summit. All right, then we had execution in your business, right? So we started with business law with Jeff Schick. Awesome. I mean, we all wanted Jeff to stay on the stage for 3 more hours because he taught us so much about like he gave us practical examples of copyrights, trademarks, patents. Like, you know, we've all been talked to about these things before, but Jeff gave us actual examples for e-commerce sellers, right? Like he showed us, hey, this product, they had this problem, you know, whatever. And we were able to like get it. Like I was able to get things that I didn't understand before and why they were important. And then he talked to us about when you're forming a company, what should you consider? He talked to us about California's toxic laws, toxicity laws, all that kind of stuff, and why, like Prop 65, and why it matters and why we should care. And then he talked about suspensions and how to prevent them, and you know what to do, and all of that kind of stuff. So you can't miss this presentation from Jeff. It was just awesome. And it had so many, poor guy had so many follow-up questions after that. He was like, wait, you know, I have so many questions for you. But, you know, just because he really got all of us thinking about all these things, he could have just come in and talked about copyright, you know, but he came in and talked about all these things. So all of us were like, oh wait, I got a follow-up question on that. I got a question about that. So there's even lots of questions during the presentation as well. And we'll have to have Jeff back as a live Q&A during the virtual summit so that you guys can ask some of those questions again. Oh, that's a good point. During the virtual summit, we'll be doing some live Q&A with some of our speakers so that you can, you know, visit this information again if you were there in person or if you're seeing it for the first time, and then also ask any questions that might not have been asked during the live. All right, then we talked about getting money. You need money, right? So Jovan came, and he is from a seed fund investment company, and he talked to us about what do investors look for when you're applying for money, how to approach them, how to, you know, apply for, how to actually fill out that application, and what to do, and then eventually how to get money to make your dream happen. And when it's the right time to get money, when it's not, you know, we really just had a great Q&A session with him. So you're going to love seeing that. And you're going to love getting those resources to apply if you need them. Then we did social media planning and growth. So this was also really helpful for people. You know, this is something that I talk about a lot because it's so important. You know, when you're creating content to build your brand beyond Amazon, what does it need to look like? And how do you find out the information that people are looking for? So we had Emily there. She owns a water softener company. And so we did a little exercise during this presentation where we showed her like, hey, what do your customers care about? I had no idea, but I used the tools to show her what she could be writing her blog post about. And that was really an aha moment for her. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back and get to work on this. So we talk to you how to get content, where to get it, what do your customers care about, what are they searching for, how can you answer their questions, how can you create content that matters, what is the alt text field, what are the tags, what are the hashtags, where should you find those, where should you, how should you post, what do your images need to say, all that stuff. Because I can talk about this stuff all day and I love it. So, you know, this was a great presentation, and I'm sure that it will give you some inspiration for your own brand's content as well. All right, mind mapping and outsourcing with Joy. So Joy Packard came and talked to us. First of all, she gave us her take on business planning and really goal setting. She taught us how to mind map, how to take our brain and put it on paper. She taught us how to chunk our time into different, you know, priorities. And then she taught us how to actually put those time chunks into a calendar, and that involves our goals for our personal goals, our business goals, our family goals. She taught us how to live this fulfilled life with our business and how to put all of that stuff on paper. Like, get it out of our brain, put it on paper. And then most importantly, up here, she taught us how to actually outsource it so that we can free up our time to do other things. So it was so great. She taught us, how she started outsourcing and how to how to hire your first VA, all of that stuff. It was so cool. She taught us, what's important, how to manage your time and their time, everything. It was just really empowering, and people were like, wow, I can't wait to go and do this, because, I've seen presentations about virtual assistants before and how to hire them, but I've never seen a presentation like Joy has given here, where she actually talks about how to start by planning your day and your business and your goals and how to get that under control, and then how to outsource some of it. So she really kind of puts it all into one really great presentation and how to have a really healthy and growing business. Then we ended the conference with Kevin Dickinson, and he talked to us about how he built his business from his garage, basically, how he stumbled upon the idea while he was on a trip to Las Vegas, and how he turned that into a hobby, and then how he then turned that into a business, and how he has grown and scaled that business to 7 figures. He talked to us about how he really worked efficiently, and he had a full-time job this whole time, and it wasn't just any job. He was, a software developer and working really, really a hard job, a high brain power job, and he built his business at the same time. So now he's a full-time entrepreneur, and, he talked us through his journey and how he did that, and the important lessons learned along the way. And it was really super helpful. And I think it was inspiring for a lot of people to see, like, wow, I can do this. So don't miss that, right? So that's it, you guys. How do you sign up for the virtual summit? It's in March, the 18th through the 20th, online. And we are selling these tickets for only $99 right now. March 1st, the prices go up. So you have a couple of weeks to purchase your tickets, but do not miss it, you guys. It is going to be so good. So we're going to do it online in a Facebook group. When you purchase your ticket at amazingathome.com/inspire-summit, or you can just go to amazingathome.com and click on Inspire Virtual Summit in the main menu. But when you purchase your ticket online, you'll get instructions to enter a Facebook group. Don't worry, you're not going to get into that Facebook group until March 18th through the 20th, because we are building out all of the videos and stuff. So I've had a couple of questions of people say, wait, I purchased my ticket and I'm not in the Facebook group yet. Yes, your request is in there, but we have not opened the doors yet. So, but get your ticket now, and we will be hosting the summit from the 18th through the 20th online. And then that summit will stay up for a couple of months, 2 months later, so you can watch those presentations over again. You can really get the information, and you can ask any questions inside of that Facebook group. And we want all of you who need this information to get it. And that is why we are doing this. And we're so excited to announce our next Inspire conference, and also to get after the next pain points that we need to get after. So love it. Don't miss the virtual summit. I can't wait to see you there. Don't forget, we're going to be doing some live Q&As with some of the speakers so that you can definitely get more of the information and get your questions answered. And I can't wait to see you there, you guys. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And I hope to really inspire even more people to move forward in their business and get after some of those things that have been just really tough for them. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you at the Inspire Virtual Summit, March 18th through the 20th.